DC Nation, what is up? We're back with another video, and this video I'll be covering all the new DC comics that came out this week, the week of January 4th. This is actually the first week of 2022 in terms of comics, and there wasn't as many new comics this week as last week, but the comics that came out this week were very quality. It was hard for me to pick like a favorites. But what I decided as the pick of the week is Justice League Infinity number 7. This is the final issue in the miniseries that is supposed to be a continuation of the Justice League Unlimited animated series. This is a 7-issue miniseries written by J.M.D. Mateus and James Tucker, art by Ethan Beavers. Ethan Beavers' artwork fits the tone, it fits the animated series style, it's perfect. And in terms of the writing, it's really good as well. I really enjoyed this final issue because basically what happened, we got this Amazo 2.0 that is super powerful. He has got a hold of the anti-life equation and he's destroying the DC animated universe. And the only characters left are Batman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Wally West, The Flash, and John Stewart, the Green Lantern. And the only reason they are alive is because John Stewart caught them in like a green construct bubble as the anti-life equation spread across the universe and the multiverse. This whole main series basically opened up the door to the multiverse for the Justice League animated series, but we get like a really cool double page spread at the beginning of the issue where it shows like Dr. Fate, Green Arrow, and other Justice League Unlimited characters, and it just shows everything getting wiped out, and it's pretty epic. But we see the final heroes, they team up, they try to find a way to beat Amazo 2.0, and what it comes down to is using the life equation against the anti-life equation. Makes sense, right? But who has this life equation? Turns out Darkseid has it from that one universe in issue number 4 of this miniseries, and Diana, she ran into this Darkseid, which this Darkseid was from a universe where he fell in love with Wonder Woman. They had a relationship, but she was killed, and Darkseid was left alone. So when Diana showed up there, they had a bond, and he ends up dying. But when he was dying, he transferred the life equation to Diana. So Diana, Wonder Woman, she has the life equation, and she uses it to fight back against Amazo 2.0, but she isn't strong enough. But that's when Batman steps up to the plate. He's like, I got you. Batman steps up, he grabs Wonder Woman's hand. They are stronger together. They use the life equation to defeat Amazo 2.0. And actually the original Amazo, he steps up too. And he ends up getting Amazo 2.0 to kind of like the good side. And at the end of the story, you see the two Amazos now exploring the multiverse. They're good. They're not unstable anymore. One of them is not trying to destroy the entire multiverse with the anti-life equation. Everything is good. Everything is back to normal. And at the end of the story, you see Batman and Wonder Woman. They are good. They have a good relationship. You got some relationship drama between John Stewart, Hot Girl, and Vixen. You just see all the heroes of Justice League Unlimited just hanging out, chilling out. It's very fun, and the artwork, like I said, by Ethan Beavers, it fits its own. It makes this whole scene perfect. At the end of the issue, you see the Justice League rally to go fight off against some apes. Basically, Gorilla Grodd, I'm guessing. They don't show it, but they tease it. And Wally West, he's kind of hesitant at first, but then he gets excited. The final image, you see the Justice League, they're going back into action, and it's epic. It's really cool. It just shows that the Justice League animated universe, or the DC animated universe, it continues after this. But yeah, I really enjoyed this miniseries. It was really well done, well written. The artwork was perfect. A well-paced story, very epic and high stakes, like Amazo 2.0. He was a good villain, and yeah, I highly recommend this issue and this entire miniseries to anyone that is excited and really invested in the DC animated universe. Those old shows like Justice League, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series, just that whole animated universe that, in my opinion, like, I'm watching right now. I'm doing reactions on Batman Beyond and Justice League, and it's some of the best DC content out there. So yeah, guys, that's Justice League Infinity, number 7. Next up on our list, we got Batman, number 119, The Abyss, Part 2. This is the second issue in Joshua Williamson's run so far, and we got artwork by Jorge Molina and Michael Janin. I'll say, both of their art styles, it kind of meshes, but you could tell when both art styles are in the issue. Like, it could be kind of jarring, but it didn't really bother me. Like, their arts is just so good. Jorge Molina's artwork is very realistic, and he's good at shadows and just bringing certain moments together and getting you hyped. And then Michael Janin is good at the more quieter moments and just dialogue scenes. So yeah, the artwork in this issue, top notch. But for the issue itself, we found out last issue that Lex Luthor, he's the new investor for Batman Inc. or Batman Incorporated. He's funding it. And yeah, we see him try to take down Batman, but then him and Bruce, they meet up at this diner, this restaurant that Lex is now paid for, and no one's there, so they can talk about anything. Lex already knows that Bruce is Batman, and Lex talks about Batman Incorporated and his plans. He also mentions like this wine that he took from this one nation, and how it's very valuable. It's worth like $10 billion or $10 million, something like that, some crazy amount of money. And they just pours a little glass for him and Bruce, and then dumps it on the ground. Like, Lex is a total jerk, but it makes sense. Like, it fits his character, and I really love how Joshua Williamson writes him in this issue. It's so cool. And like I said, Michael Janin, good at the dialogue scenes. The whole scene where Lex and Bruce are talking at the restaurants, the expressions, how the art flows, and how it goes back and forth, the panel layouts, it's top notch. From there, though, we see the body of Abyss go missing, but it's not actually him. Abyss is not dead. Batman goes on the lookout. Abyss attacks him. We get a brief clash between them, a brief action sequence, and it's awesome. Like, Jorge Molina really steps up. His artwork is amazing. Seeing Batman throw the Batarang, Abyss come from behind, try to attack him. I'm gonna say again, like I said in other videos, Batman having the yellow oval back is just perfect. It just really stands out, and I like that. But by the end of the issue, Batman, he gets stabbed by Abyss, and then he loses his eyesight. All he sees is darkness. And the next issue, it teases blind as a bat. Basically, Batman, he's blind now. He can't see nothing, and that's gonna cause some problems. But yeah, I just like this issue as a whole. It's not as action-packed and fast-paced as last issue, but it's still well-paced. It's kind of like a precursor to events coming. Like, it sets up things, it's really good pacing, it keeps it kind of down, like, keeps things nice hyped, but at the end of the issue, it gets really exciting. And I'm really looking forward to see where Joshua Williamson takes this run. So far, he's knocking out of the park, and I highly recommend this issue. Next up on our list, we got Detective Comics, number 1047, Shadows of the Bats, Part 1. This is a weekly event. Yep, Detective Comics will be coming out every week for the next 3 months to keep this big event going. It's a 12-issue event, and so far, it's alright. A quick rundown of what this event's about. We got this Arkham Tower that is basically Arkham Asylum 2.0, and it's run by this doctor, Dr. Ware, and he's already shown that he can turn certain individuals from insane to sane, turn them into good citizens, so he's reliable. But there may be some problems on the rise. The Nakano, he's worried. Chase Meriden, she's a little worried because Batman has left Gotham in her hands. And of course, we got the Bat family, Nightwing, spoiler, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, Huntress, Batwoman. They're all involved and they're watching over Gotham while Batman is away. Now, we do get a cold open, like we see some setup of the Arkham Tower that's kind of boring, but then we fast forward and see it's not going well. Like in the future, certain inmates are already lashing out, they're killing people. You get this one sequence where this one inmate, this girl, she's just killing people. It's very horrific, and how the arts shows it, it's really well done. I'll say that. The artwork in this issue by Ivan Rice is amazing. It looks really good. Certain images just really look striking. And at the end of the issue, you see Dr. Ware. He gets thrown out of a window and he may be dead. There's also a moment where Nightwing, we're like, oh, is he dead? What happened to him? But then it's just like a false call. But then we get like a final image of Huntress. She is actually the real person or the real Bat family member who's in trouble. She's stabbed or something and she ain't doing good. And basically all the Bat family members are in Arkham Tower and they're just dressed up as inmates and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So we know that things are not going to go well and there will be a conflict showing basically in this future, this cold open. But so far this event, I'm not invested yet. Like in Arkham Tower, it may be interesting, and the cold open style approach for the storytelling, this whole event, is cool. But right now, it's just the arts that's selling it for me. And that's basically been Mariko Tamaki's whole Detective Comics run. At times her writing is really good, but a lot of times it's just okay, barely passable, and the artwork, like Dan Mora and Ivan Rice, steps it up and makes it readable. So yeah, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on 12-issue weekly events, like, this isn't really worth it. Like, it doesn't seem worth it yet. The writing isn't top-notch. I'm not super excited. It's really just the artwork that's good. And honestly, just wait for Ivan Rice to jump on a good title, and then you can check out his artwork there. So yeah, do I recommend this? No, but I hope that the event gets better. I hope part 2, part 3 shows something good. Like, I need something to get me hooked, and this story hasn't happened yet. But I'm gonna hope for the best. But yeah, that was Detective Comics number 1047. Next up on our list, we got Arkham City, The Order of the World, number 4. In this issue, we get a lot of revelations. We see Ten-Eyed Man, he gets messed up by Azrael at the beginning of the issue. It gets me hooked into the story. Like, guys, the beginning of this issue, it's hype. Like, it's really cool. Azrael is written so well. He's awesome. And the artwork really sells. Like, the artwork for the entire issue, it fits the story. It can make for some really deep moments. Like, how the artwork is, like, laid out, the panel layouts, the sequences. It's well done. But for the entire issue, we see Dr. Jocasta Joy. She meets up with Nocturna and Dr. Phosphorus. And basically, the entire issue centers around them. Like, Dr. Jocasta Joy, she's there, and she may be going a little crazy. And you get an inner monologue for her, but it's really about Nocturna and Dr. Phosphorus. How they're trying to be good people, but they can't. And it's interesting. It's written well. Now, the big revelation in this issue is that Amadeus Arkham's ghost is actually not back. It's just a scheme being pulled by Professor Pig. He's really like the big villain of this entire miniseries. He's the thing that's been causing all this conflict. He's gonna play a bigger part in the final 2 issues of this miniseries. And yeah, guys, I highly recommend this series. Like, this entire miniseries, it's written well, the characters are developed, and there's certain sequences that really stand out. It's like, it keeps you invested. And every issue has a good cliffhanger that keeps me wanting more. So yeah, if you've been reading this series, I highly recommend you pick up this issue. Next up on our list, we got Dark Knights of Steel, number 3, written by Tom Taylor. This issue is really interesting. You see this alliance being forged between the Amazons and Black Lightning's kingdom, because Black Lightning, he knows that Supergirl, she is on a warpath, and you actually see a sequence at the beginning of the issue where she's just killing people, and it's really awesome. Like, it's horrific, and it's drawn super well, but yeah, see how at the beginning of the issue, just seeing her go through people and kill them, I'm like, dang, Supergirl, it got me hyped. But yeah, just this alliance, it's very intriguing, seeing Wonder Woman refuse to work with Black Lightning, and then you get big moments at the end of the issue where Black Lightning, he gets attacked and killed by Supergirl. Supergirl is just on a warpath, guys. She don't care now that Jor-El has been killed. And yeah, Black Lightning, he dies. Anissa, she'll now have the kingdom. And then you, of course, got the whole Batman subplot about him being a Kryptonian. And Alfred wanting to reveal his true history. His true, like, Kryptonian backgrounds. And we'll see that in the next issue. So yeah, there's small moments in this issue, a lot of dialogue, but also some huge moments, really surrounding Black Lightning and Supergirl. And Supergirl just attacking the ship and destroying it. So yeah, very good issue. It's well written by Tom Taylor. The art is amazing. It fits this whole Game of Thrones, medieval times type tone. And I really like that. So yeah, if you've been reading this series, guys, I highly recommend you check out this issue. Next up on our list, we got Suicide Squad, number 11. And this issue, we see Amanda Waller send her Suicide Squad to Earth 8. And there they go up against DC's version of the Avengers, the Retaliators. And the Retaliators, they're fun, like they're very creative, they're interesting, and it's fun to see them get beat up by the Suicide Squad. The reason Waller sent her Suicide Squad there to this Earth 8, is to see which members would show mercy and which members would go all out, because she needs the best soldiers for her next fights. She's going up against Rick Flag. Throughout this issue, we get some parallels of Amanda Waller monitoring her Suicide Squad while Rick Flag, he monitors his Suicide Squad. And it's interesting. It's really cool seeing Rick Flag in this leadership role where he doesn't have to work for Amanda Waller. He doesn't have to do what she says. Also in this issue, we see Peacemaker and Bloodsport face off. Peacemaker tries to convince Bloodsport to join Rick Flag. We get this revelation that Amanda Waller, she is threatened to kill all the Bloodsport's brothers throughout the multiverse. So basically his brother died in this universe, but his brother is alive in every other universe. But Amanda Waller will kill all of them, so basically erase his brother from existence if he doesn't listen to her. So Bloodsport, he's not in the best position. And you just see him fight against Peacemaker, and Peacemaker try to come up with a way to convince him. And the cool thing about this is he does. But we don't see that interaction. Like, there's moments where Peacemaker's like, you could kill me, but let me say one last thing. And then it cuts to a scene. So I'm interested to see how that interaction ended. And at the end of the issue, you see Rick Flag. He's coming. You see him with his entire Suicide Squad coming out of the ocean in a really cool way. Like, I liked it, and it ends that way. Rick Flag and Amanda Waller will face off in the next issue. And I am so excited. We have not seen this in, I don't think, ever. Rick Flag versus Amanda Waller. Rick Flag, his own Suicide Squad. That is such a good idea that I'm surprised it's not been done. At least it's not not been done in a long time. And yeah, Robbie Thompson, he's been killing it on this title. He's been doing such a good job. Good writing, a lot of action, good interactions like Nocturna and Match's interactions in this issue are really good. We also got Ambush Bug, who gives the comedy for the story. He has a lot of great moments. He mentions like Amalgam Comics, which I thought that was really cool. And yeah, an overall great issue of Suicide Squad. Moving on to the final new comic book of this week, we got Justice League Incarnates number 3. And this issue we see the Justice League Incarnates, they're separated throughout the multiverse. We got Captain Carrots teaming up with the Nimrod Squad. I think that's really cool. Like, it was really awesome this issue. Captain Carrots is such a cool character, and I like seeing him get some spotlights. We also see Avery Ho, the Flash of this Justice League Incarnate team. She goes up against some pirates, and you see the Amazons like Donna Troy, Diana, and Artemis. They all show up in an awesome way. You see Thomas Wayne, Batman. He's on like this Looney Tunes type world. That's what I would call it. It's like you literally have characters that resemble Daphne Duck, Bugs Bunny, all sort of Looney Tunes characters, and that was really cool. And then we got President Superman and Dr. Multiverse, Calvin Ellis and Maya. They try to find out a way to connect to all the other members in Justice League Incarnates. And they also try to find a way to find the crack in the multiverse. And what ends up happening is we get some meta commentary. They meet up with an editor of DC. You see them actually read some comics and then try to make their own comic. You see this relationship form between Maya and Calvin. It's very fun. Now, for a sec, I thought the meta commentary was being pushed a little too far. It started getting a little ridiculous, but then we got this twist that the editor is Darkseid, and he's been waiting, and he uses Calvin and Maya to get to the crack in the multiverse. And once that happened, once it was revealed that the editor is Darkseid, I got hyped. I went from being like, oh, this meta commentary is going too far, it's taking up too much of the issue, to, oh, okay, this twist, it's worth it. And it's awesome. Seeing Darkseid go away, and Calvin and Maya, they try to hold on to him, and then him be like, I am Darkseid. Darkseid is. And him just talking, it's really dope. And how Joshua Williamson writes Darkseid, it fits his character. He's an epic character. He's larger than life, and it shows that here. And just seeing Darkseid in action is so cool. Now, there's a lot of build-up in this issue, a lot of dialogue, and it's a good issue. But then it becomes a great issue at the end. At the final image, guys, what happens is we see the empty hand. He shows up, and he's ready to use the crack in the multiverse. And guys, his entrance is epic. You see Maya and all them. Basically, the Justice League Incarnates, they're back together, they're fighting against Darkseid, but then empty hands, he shows up. And that final image got me so hyped. I've been waiting for him to show up ever since Infinite Frontier, the final issue in that miniseries. And now that he's back and he's gonna cause some trouble with a great darkness, like, what is the great darkness? What could that mean? Like, there's so many theories you could go about on, like, so many theories, and Joshua Williamson can take this in so many directions. There's just so much potential, and I'm excited for the next issue. So yeah, this issue was good, but it became great when the empty hand showed up. And I highly recommend it to anyone that's been reading this series. Now, that's all the new DC Comics that came out this week. But now, it's time for a back haul pull. And for this week, I got for you guys, Cosmic Oddyssey. Yep, Cosmic Oddyssey, written by Jim Starlin, arts by Mike Mignola, and this story is amazing. It's one of my favorite stories at DC, and it's just really interesting. I really love it. I'll read you the synopsis real quick, get you intrigued, and then I'll talk about some spoilers. But here we go. For years, the powers of Apocalypse and New Genesis have sought the anti-life equation, a source of seemingly limitless power. Now, the equation's secrets have been unlocked, and the source of its power revealed. But the anti-life is not a mere concept or a resource to be siphoned. The anti-life is a living being, and this entity isn't content to stay confined to the antimatter universe. It's coming for ours. Stopping the threats will require the greatest super team ever assembled, the Justice League. Earth's greatest heroes combined with the new gods, and led by Darkseid himself. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. But come on. Darkseid, he has a huge role in this issue. You see him work with Etrigan. Etrigan has a pivotal role in this entire story, and he's awesome. Like, Darkseid brings him back. He said, Darkseid has brought me back. Etrigan, the demon, lives again. There's literally an image with that, and it's so epic. How he shows up, I really like it. And yeah, Batman has a good story in this. Like, he teams up with Forager, and I like that. Like, Forager has a lot of great moments in this entire story, and his interactions with Batman are just so cool. Now, we also got Superman, Starfire, Martian Manhunter, they're all involved. And the part of the story that's remembered the most by DC fans is when Jon Stewart destroys entire planets and millions of people die because of him. Basically, Jon Stewart and Martian Manhunter, they go on a mission. Jon Stewart, his pride gets in the way. He screws up, millions of people die, and he lives with that burden. He can't bear it. And it's very emotional, like it's dark how they do it. So it's a good arc for Jon Stewart. And how Martian Manhunter acts, his interactions with Jon Stewart, I found it very interesting. Now, aside from that, we also get like Orion, Highfather, Dr. Fates, so many characters in this story. And how Mike Mignola draws all of them, it's cool. Like, Mike Mignola is one of my favorite artists. He does like Hellboy and so many different stories, but I know him from Hellboy. Like, he draws Hellboy so cool. And just see him draw all these DC characters and make an epic story. Like, Jim Starlin, he writes an epic story and allows Mike Mignola to go all out. How he draws Darkseid, Etrigan, the action sequences, the very tense, suspenseful moments. It's really cool. Like, I really love this story, guys. I know I'm going on longer than usual. Usually I just talk about the backhaul pull real quickly, but I really wanted to get into this. Like, it's just so cool. Like, and yeah, it's just an epic story that any DC fan, this is like essential. If you're a DC fan, you like epic stories about the new gods, Darkseid, Etrigan, the magical side of the DC universe, then I highly recommend this book. But yeah, that's the backhaul pull for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next DC Comics video. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.